Hi everybody, this is Taz. Welcome back to Taz's Wig Closet. I'm going to bring you a look today at Hunter by Estetica in the color R826H. Hunter is a brand new style for Estetica's winter collection. And I actually was not going to review this style. I am not a big fan of bangs, but recently I have warmed up to some of the styles with bangs, and I really enjoyed looking at this one just because it had all these face framing layers. And what I don't like about bangs is when they're straight across and kind of angled with some sharp angles and things like that. So we'll get into the style in just a moment. But this color, I love it because it reminds me of Caramel Kiss. Now Estetica also has a Caramel Kiss color and also a Caramel Kiss with a root. That color seems a bit darker, and I actually have my Tony of Beverly Savvy here in Caramel Kiss. So again, this is the Tony of Beverly Caramel Kiss, and I love this one. And again, this one is actually a little bit darker than this R826H as well. It's got a deeper, richer golden brown with some beautiful amber gold butterscotch highlighting. It's very chunky. So I chose this one because it looked like it to be a bit of a softer brunette with some milder highlighting, and I think it was right. So this is a soft golden brown color, and it has some beautiful highlighting, just some butterscotch blonde highlights. I like them because they're chunky, but they're not extremely dramatic. And I always love a good highlight pattern on a brunette. I think it really brightens it up. So I actually am in love with this color. This style has a very limited color palette right now, and I didn't want to choose my typical blonde. I wanted to go with something a little bit different. So I'm really enjoying this color. So I usually don't choose a style with bangs, like I said, because of the sharp angles on the style, but this one is very softly blended. The bangs are only about 3 inches, and they just go right above the eyebrow here, so you don't have to trim them or anything like that to keep them out of the eyes. They're very practical. I love them because they're not straight down. I mean, they do kind of feather back a bit and blend into the style. But also there's not these sharp angles. You've got multiple layers, layering going on around the face here. And that really softens up those bangs, in my opinion. It doesn't make them so harsh. So the bangs just become a part of that texture pattern. And it really works very nicely with the style. So I'm really enjoying it. I'll go ahead and do a spin for you, and then we'll get into a little bit of specs. I have a pretty obvious comparison to make in another brand, and then we'll do some styling. So you can notice the movement of this hair, how beautiful and free it is. These fibers are just very light and feathery. They're a bit on the drier side, which just gives them a light, very fine, delicate kind of movement. They're very soft. And the density is pretty realistic, really. I've had the pleasure of looking at a lot of different Estetica brands or some styles, and this one is on the lighter, I would say the lighter density side. I love the movement of this hair. And every time you move, those layers just really flatter this style. So the specs, about a 3-inch bang. Overall about 12 inches, I would say. There's some layering back there, about 7 inches on the side, so you can just see layering all over the place here. It has about a 50-cent piece, maybe a 2-inch diameter little oasis of monofilament there at the top of the wig cap. And then it has some permatease and then its open cap. So if I can remark on the permatease, there is some, but not a lot. I'm not sensing that overwhelming, thick, pillowy type of permatease in this style at all. I think it's very well done. The cap fits me very well. I'm a petite average circumference. I did not have to make any adjustments to it. I think it fits very true to average. Some Estetica styles in the past have run large, and this particular one I think is very true to average. Similar to the other style that came out recently, which is the Hunter, I'm sorry, this is Hunter, the, which one just came out and I reviewed it, Aspen. And the cap fits me very well, just like Aspen. Now Aspen has a completely different cap structure, but they both seem to run true to average. All right, so let's go ahead and make a comparison. So this one weighs just over 3 ounces, so it's very lightweight. And let's go ahead and compare then to a style that just came out this past spring by Raquel Welch, and that is Stop Traffic. And I'm going to show that to you today in SS1488, which is the Shadow Shades Golden Wheat. This is another short to mid-length shaggy style with bangs, similar cap structure and things like that. So I want to be sure to bring this out and show it to you. So we have about a 4-inch bang on Stop Traffic and a 3-inch bang here on Hunter. So all around this Stop Traffic is going to be 1 inch to 3 inches longer all the way around. So the back is going to be 2 to 3 inches longer on Stop Traffic than it is on Hunter. But the same shaggy layers, so if you can notice just all of this shaggy texture, lots of layering around the face. Both very beautiful styles. And this one also features a bit of a monofilament crown and then an open cap. What I have noticed about Stop Traffic is that there's a lot more permatease in Stop Traffic, and the cap runs very large, larger than I think average. I've had a couple Stop Traffics, they were both the same way. They did run very large on me. The fibers on the Stop Traffic seem to be a little less of a drier fiber. It's not as feathery, light, and fine. These are of medium denier, and they're more silky in texture than are these drier fibers. I love a drier fiber on a shaggy cut because those layers just separate so nicely and move. They just move independently of one another, and I love that. I think there is overall more texture in Hunter. You'll see all the way around. I think there's just more razored ends and layers on Hunter than there is on Stop Traffic. So I do want to give you just a quick peek under the cap for Hunter. So I'll go ahead and put on a Stop Traffic so that I can show you the underside of the cap, and then we'll do a bit of styling. So I have on the Stop Traffic in the Shadow Shades Golden Wheat SS1488, and right away you can tell that it's longer than the Hunter. Although it is shaggy in texture, I believe that there are more razored ends and more razored texture all around on the Hunter style. And again, that bang is longer. which I still think this bang is right on the edge of being practical for me. I didn't have to trim it or anything. Very cute style. All right, so let's go ahead and look the underside of the cap for Hunter. All right, so you have this about a 2-inch diameter oval there of monofilament, and you could see when I tilted my head towards the camera, that just gives you a little bit of illusion of scalp there. It has a nice velvet front, and then a bit of rose lace around the perma-teased area on the top. Actually, that's not velvet. That's a material that I haven't seen before. It's soft, but it's more of a nylon, I think. A bit of a head and weft there. A lot of nice coverage there at the hairline for Hunter. Open ear tabs, bendable and adjustable, and then the open extended nape, and it does have these clasp, incremental clasp style adjusters here. And like I said, this cap does run pretty true to average, so I didn't really have to make any adjustments to it, although I think I did though, because I can sense that maybe they're in a little bit farther than they would have come right out of the box. So I think I did pull it in a little bit, but that's pretty typical, even with an average cap fit for me, just because I'm more on the, I've got a more of a petite average circumference. I would say there's average stretch. I don't see, sometimes on the older Estetica styles that I've tried that have been larger, they've had a lot of generous stretch to them. So if you are counting on a larger cap and more generous stretch on this Estetica, you just need to know that this is more true to average than some in the past. All right, be right back. So for the styling segment for Hunter, I just want to show you more of this beautiful movement that you're going to get with this style. And I really enjoyed wearing it behind my ear. I haven't taken it out yet, but I was just kind of going through some ways of personalization here on this style, just to see how I might wear it. And I really enjoy seeing it behind my ear. I think that's very attractive. You've got enough there, coverage there at the front of the ear, and the density is so realistic that you can really do a nice ear tuck there. And you could even do it on both sides. But based on that shaggy texture and the length of this bob, I think it's very cute. The messier this gets, it just brings out more and more of that texture. The more I work with it, the more I really like it. So rather than taking the bangs and pulling them up and away from the face, although I think you probably could, that hairline actually looks pretty good for not having a lace front. So if you wanted to push up those bangs a bit, I think you could. Another thing you could do is kind of sweep them to one side. And if you actually wanted to clip them, I think that would be cute as well. So overall, I really do give this style a thumbs up for style, for for the feel of the fibers, the texture, the movement, and the fit. I really do give this a good thumbs up here. I think you would really enjoy this style. And hopefully they will bring back some more inventory so that you can get your order in. This has been a review of a Hunter by Estetica in the color R8 26H. Take care, everybody.